There is now two dimensions to this thing. So most of this kidnapping now is no longer bandits alone. So individuals are now joining the trend. And when they kidnap, they will say it's bandits. So there are now two groups of kidnappers in the country. Group number one is those bandits that kidnap and go to the forest. Group number two are those normal individuals living with us within our communities. They kidnap people, hide them somewhere, collect ransom, release them, and they blend into the society as usual. And you see them spending money, buying cars, live a extravagant life from nowhere, just all of a sudden. They are another second group. But the most worrisome part is that the group number one, which is the bandits, once they kidnap, it's difficult to get those people back. That is what I have observed. Because look at the school teacher, something. I think there are school children also is in Borono. The issue now is the Nigerian security operatives, particularly the police, are too swift, too quick, or they always act faster when the kidnapping is done by normal individual. Those people are easily, gotten. There is a channel to get hold of those kind of group of people, because they are within us in the society. They are living with us. They are blending with us. They operate within our midst, So that I think that's possibly why it's easier. Why those bandits, they live in the forest, nobody knows them. So my question becomes that, is it that it's difficult for Nigerian security operatives to enter the forest and look for these people? Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. So I've been looking into this issue of insecurity going on in Nigeria, and I'm beginning to get somehow, worried because the whole thing, the dynamics is kind of changing, recently. And if you look critically into what I'm trying to say in this video, you begin to, concur with me that, there's kind of new trend in these kidnapping operations that's going on, in the country. And with the way manner is going, to me, I think it's something that is worrisome. Because first and foremost, when you look at the kidnapping operation that goes on in the country, you begin to understand that first it was the bandits who resides in the forest that does most of those kidnapping, taking people that are traveling, kidnapping the whole box and moving the people to the forest, going to schools, kidnap school children and march them to the forest, even targeted operations of some certain people in the society, the visit estates and so on and so forth. These are the kind of things we know that have been happening in the country, at least for the past 3 years that this administration has been into power, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And it gets a lot of people worried in the sense that this kidnapping operation comes with huge payment of ransom. The ransom mostly are always in hundreds of millions. You see them demanding outrageous sums of money for the release of those victims. And in some cases, you see the government, negotiating with the bandits for get the school children released. And they will come on air to tell us that they did not pay ransom, but behind the scene, a lot of things have gone, down. And we also have a case where the presidential spokesperson said it that, they put a call to the bandit through some of the security agencies, and they release the school children. So all of that have been there. And in most cases, they don't really, make some sense in terms of, people running into our school, kidnapping our children, and the government put a call to them to release the kids, and they just release the kids. It doesn't make sense to anybody, right? Because anybody that goes to school to kidnap large number of pupils, have a reason for doing that, and most of their reasons is all about, getting, funding, for their operations and getting their motorbikes, getting, protection from government in terms of negotiating that either they release their members that are held in prison facility, or that the government will not, attack them in the forest where they are hiding, and so on and so forth. So we have seen those things, happen over and over again. But recently, there have been a new dimension, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. All right. So, but before I go into that, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you will be among those that will be notified, so that you get this information as they are dropping, online. The alert will just hit your phone. Okay. So thank you for those who are liking and sharing and commenting on these videos. It helps the videos to reach wider audience, as the case may be. And I appreciate those who have also subscribed to this channel. Thank you for supporting the channel to grow. Okay, having said that, let's look into the key issue I want to talk about in this insecurity problem. Just a few weeks ago, basically, we saw on the news how a twin boys, the sons of the sister of former Minister of Power in Nigeria, Minister Adelabu, who resigned in May to go and contest for governorship position in Oyo State. We recall how the lady and the two sons were kidnapped, twin sons were kidnapped when she was doing school runs, and they just disappeared. And then in a couple of days, I think between 3 to 5 days, the police stormed the hideout of those kidnappers and rescued, the victims, the woman and the two sons. And they even shot, one of the kidnappers, when he was trying to escape. And they rescued those victims and then arrested those kidnappers in their hideout. And the point I'm trying to bring up there is that when they kidnapped those women, the woman and the two sons, within a couple of days, police was able to find them and rescue them, right? Before their own incident happened, there was kidnapping of school children, is it a relay or something like that, in a school, Oyo State, including their teachers. There are a total of about 45 or 47 of them. And one of the teachers was beheaded on live video and was shared on social media. And these victims have been in these kidnappers' den for almost a month or thereabout now. And still, no clues where they are. Nobody has found them, And as it is, I think there was a time, the government kind of made an effort sending the military, and the kidnappers got information, and they asked the teacher, one of the teachers or two of the female teachers, to make a video, warning government not to come in by force, not to, come in to rescue those people. They should heed to their demand. And from what we heard, one of their demand was releasing their members who are held down in prisons, across the country. And, there are a lot of things which some have been debunked that they didn't, ask for that and all of that. So, but the woman made a video, kind of asking the government not to come in by force because if they do, they are jeopardizing their own life. And I was like, being in the forest, your life is already jeopardized. So government coming in with the military and all of that, yes, your life may be put in danger, but it's 50-50. You may be rescued, you may not be rescued. So it depends. But I think remaining in the forest for long period of time, I don't know what they eat in the forest, no shower, no nothing. You are exposed to mosquitoes, exposed to the weather, whether cold or hot, and lying on the grass. And so when you look at all those things, I don't know which one is preferable, for them. But I think it's quite important for the government to, put in more vigor in terms of trying to rescue those victims. But the bottom line of why I'm bringing up this matter is that those victims have been there for almost a month now, and there was no rescue in sight. There was no rescue operation. There was no success in, rescuing them from the hands of the bandits. So you can see two things, right? One was kidnapped within a space of 3 to 5 days. They were rescued. These ones were kidnapped by a different group, the bandits. They have been in the forest for almost a month, if not more, and yet no headway on how or when they will return. Again, in Oyo State, I watched a video, CCTV footage of where some group of boys, with one orange vehicle on thereabout stormed the fruit market and wanted to kidnap a man. And the man ran away. They now picked the wife. The wife was running, but at some point they caught her and dragged her on the floor and threw her into their vehicle and, skid off with the woman. And a few days after, they were caught by the Nigerian police in Oyo State. And I watched their interviews, how they, they did the operation, how they got 8 million from ransom from the woman, and how they shared the money, 1.5 million and all of that. So I watched the video, and you can see this thing happened a few days back. Within a space of 3 to 5 days, they were found. So that is where my thinking clicked, and I was like, there is now two dimensions to this thing. So most of this kidnapping now is no longer bandits alone. So individuals are now joining the trend. And when they kidnap, they will say it's bandits. So there are now two groups of kidnappers in the country. Group number one is those bandits that kidnap and go to the forest. Group number two are those normal individuals living with us within our communities. They kidnap people, hide them somewhere, collect ransom, release them, and they blend into the society as usual. And you see them spending money, buying cars, live a extravagant life from nowhere, just all of a sudden. They are another second group. But the most worrisome part is that the group number one, which is the bandits, once they kidnap, it's difficult to get those people back. That is what I have observed. Because look at the school teachers, something. I think there are school children also is in Borono. So the issue now is the Nigerian security operatives, particularly the police, are too swift, too quick, or they always act faster when the kidnapping is done by normal individual. When I mean normal individual, I mean those people that live with us in our communities. one or two, three guys come together, discuss and say, hey, let's just go pick anybody and see if we can get some money so that we can just use the money and chill out. Stuff like that. Those people are easily, gotten because one, maybe their phones are tracked. When those incidents happen, people that see them may know some, clues about them, and they track their vehicle through CCTV footage or, track their phone number and all of that. So there is a channel to get hold of those kind of group of people, because they are within us in the society. They are living with us. They are blending with us. They operate within our midst, So that I think that's possibly why it's easier. Why those bandits, they live in the forest, nobody knows them, they tie their faces, they just storm the road, grab whoever they can grab, go into the forest. So my question becomes that, is it that it's difficult for Nigerian security operatives to enter the forest and look for these people? That is the question I'm asking, because they always move faster when normal people kidnap people and put them in one house and all of that, than when they are kidnapped and taken to the forest. So this is the question I'm asking. So is it that they don't have capability the way they track those normal individuals who live with others, does this kidnapping one and often, compared to those who are in the forest? Is it that those ones in the forest, they use satellite phones and we don't have satellite to track them? Or is it that the bushes where they are, Nigerian security operators cannot have access to that place? Or is it that those bandits have been protected by the same government? Because I don't really understand how the whole thing is functioning. Because if you can easily get those who are kidnapped and kept in an apartment somewhere within the country, why can't you track also and get those who have taken people into the damn forest? That is the question I'm asking. So I think Nigerian security operators really need to come out clear and tell us what are their challenges in terms of going after those who kidnap and enter the forest, who are the real bandits. Because I don't know, you say that those guys have superior firepower, because these normal citizens, like the one that happened in Edo State, or the one that happened to the Oyo mother, which is two twin boys. When you look at that, when they were rescued, you saw it was just a bungalow. They put them there in a normal house and all of that. So the police stormed the place and was able to rescue them. But these ones that are in the forest, like these school children in Oyo now, with their teachers, have been in the forest for over a month. The rescue operation have not really yielded any result. So, and we have seen cases on the news where we are told that the army rescued over 300 and something kidnapped victims and all of that. Then looking at the retired brigadier general in the army, that's Rabi Abubakar, who died in captivity, in the hands of the bandits. It was a kind of a shame, because a whole brigadier general, when he was in active duty, was not killed in operation, was not killed in duty, and now that he retired, he ended up in the hands of bandits. That's how his life was cut short. And the wife watching him die, before her, is something that is very painful. I don't know how that trauma, we, leave the woman. And the army, who he is one of their own, when he was in captivity all those weeks, the army probably or obviously did not kind of rescue him until he passed away. And everybody was asking, how did they get hold of his body? If they don't know the location where he is to rescue him, when he now died, bandits were able to bring out his body. How did they communicate to the bandits that they know exactly where the body was kept for them to go and pick it up for burial? That's one. The second part of it is that, or after the man has now died, that was when the army people now knew they need to go and rescue the wife. How they allowed the man to die in captivity, and after his death was when they now went to rescue the wife. And from the pictures and the video we saw, they said the wife was was kind of, I think she was shot because she was down, and she was sent to the hospital and she's recuperating. So I think the Nigerian government should begin to understand that this kidnapping thing has gone into two different dimensions, and they need to create two different strategies on how to deal with that. But I think their strategy number two, that is for number two group, which is kidnapping done by normal citizens who live with us within the society. I think their strategy is working in that one, because they have been successful in rescuing the Oyo, the woman with the twin sons, the sister of former Minister of Power. They did that very well. The one in Edo in the food market, they did that very well. So the one that happened from normal people within the society, I think the police is on top of it. They are doing very well in that regard so far. But when it comes to those other bandits who kidnaps and takes to the forest, that's where they are lacking. Their strategy is not working. Whatever is their modus operandi in addressing that is not working. I think that's why they need to put in more effort now to kind of understudy how they can be able to deal with that. But I think the best form of, security is to nip things in the bud. Don't foiling it before it happens. That is the best. It's cheaper. It's the best. It's less riskier compared to when they have kidnapped. You now start looking for them in the forest. So I think in that regard, there's need to strengthen our intelligence, system. The DMI, the police intelligence unit, the DSS, all of this. They need to really work together. Up their game in terms of intelligence gathering, and not just intelligence gathering, utilizing the intelligence to do what they're supposed to do. Because in most cases, we have had a report where the committee will say they wrote to them that they will be attacked, and they inform security operatives. At times, DSS passes information, but they don't act on it until after they have attacked that community, killed many people, kidnapped many. Then you see healers start coming to that community after they have left. Doesn't make sense. So getting information is one. Utilizing the information is the main thing that yields the result. Okay, so we need to up our game in that regard. And police, kudos to the ones who are doing already, tackling the one that is done by normal human being within the society. Strengthen your operations, continue to do what you are doing in that regards. But most cases now, or most importantly, is trying to stop it before it happens. That will be the main game now. So, but when they kidnap you, rescue, that's fine. You are making an effort. And the way they drag that woman is so pathetic. They drag her on the road till they go to the vehicle. And all this thing was happening. Nobody did anything. People were just watching, and people were like confused. What in a broad daylight they did the operation. So when you look at those boys, that is why when I listened to P.W.B, he was saying something that is very critical. It doesn't matter whether you like him or not, but what he was saying is tackling insecurity is not only about hitting them hard, bombing them, shooting them, or arresting them. No, that is one part. That the major part of it is pulling people out of poverty. Because people are doing all these things because they are jobless, they don't have money, they don't know where the next meal is coming from, so they take whatever risk is before them. And I quite agree with that. Because anybody that's doing is 9 to 5, for example, in the morning you wake up, take your shower, go to your office, do your job, or go to your shop, do your business, close late in the evening. By the time you get home, you are tired. So you have to eat, rest, take your shower, sleep for the next day. So you don't have time for thinking of criminality. You don't have time mingling with people that will lead you to criminality. Even when you meet them and they bring the idea, you will say no because you are already doing something and you are making progress in what you are doing. So, but it's easy to recruit people who don't have a job, who don't have source of income, who don't have source of career, and so on and so forth. So very easy to recruit them. And that's why Boko Haram is feasting on the northern part of Nigeria. All those little boys that does Alamajeri and all of that, they just pick them from the street, rehabilitate them, give them some, uniform, some resources, teach them how to shoot. Don't forget the other time we saw children soldiers learning how to shoot with army uniform. Remember? So, but when these children are in school, for example, they won't see them to, recruit and all of that. So it's part of the things we are talking about. That tackling insecurity is not only about using the military, the police, and all of that. It's also dealing with the economic part of it, pulling people out of poverty, creating opportunities for people by creating an enabling environment. That's why abroad people prosper because there is an enabling environment. There is 24/7 power supply. There is good road. If you want to do, transport business and all of that, there is light. If you want to do content creation, you don't need to look for where to charge your phone or iPad or plug your ring light and all of that. So there's facilities, there's infrastructure. All you need to do is to up your scale and key in where your scale fits in, and they are there. That's it. But in our own climb now, a common content creator in Nigeria now will be needing generator to power his lights, charge his phone, or he put one solar panel to charge phone and all those things cost him extra additional money and so on and so forth. So these are the duties of government, creating this enabling environment by ensuring that the facility that is required is in place so that people who go to school, graduate, come out, can fit into something. It's not that your government responsibility is not to create jobs, basically, apart from a civil service force. It's not to create jobs, it's to create an enabling environment. Then private people comes in to create the jobs. That's how it works abroad. And that's why PWB is talking about SMEs, how to extend funding to SMEs, to strengthen SMEs, because they are the hub. They are the hub of development. Go to abroad. A child of 15 years, he owns a company, running a company. Already, yes. Go and check. In abroad now, a girl of 18 years has graduated from college, heading to masters and PhD. Before 21, she already have PhD and the rest of it. Because the environment is there. You just fly. But in our climb now, we don't have that kind of environment, and that's why people are struggling. That's why it's like survival of the fittest. Tell me the reason why somebody on the broad daylight drive off the street, block a vehicle, kidnap the person in the vehicle, and then run with the person and start demanding for money from the person's family. Just think about it. The risk involved, the stress involved. Does it really worth it? And now those guys have been kidnapped. I think there are about 3 or 4 of them. They have been nabbed now in police custody. Before they come out of that case now, except if there is a higher up person who is connected that send them. That's where they may. After this news now, before you know it, they are out. But apart from that, if they are just normal people who just decided to run that, show that day, they will rot in prison, in Nigerian prison, where nobody wants to go. So that is the point. So I'm just trying to put it out there for government to know that there are 2 dimensions now of this kidnapping operation. Bandit kidnappers who kidnap and take to the bush, and then normal people kidnappers, those who are not living in the bush, they live with us. They are the ones that kidnap and hide their victim in an apartment or in a flat or somewhere in a building or uncompleted building, waiting for ransom. So those ones, once they receive ransom, they release the victim because their major reason is to collect ransom. But bandits, when they collect ransom, not in all cases they release the victim. In some cases, they have killed the victim. They are still demanding for ransom, even when they have killed the victim. So it's neither here nor there. So those groups are like Evans the kidnapper then, who targets high-profile people that collects €1 million and all of that. So they are this group. So that's how they will grow. From this small operation, they dovetail to bigger operation. So it's good as the police is dipping them now in the ball. Once you do that, they catch you. Once you do that, they catch you. Then it put fears in other people, not to get involved in that kind of thing. So that's what I understood going on right now. So, and I think the Nigerian security operatives should be able to look into this and see how they strengthen their operation. They are doing well already. From these 2 incidences I've mentioned now, from Oyo and Edo, I think they're okay, catching them back. That's one, but they can strengthen, that too, to make it faster. If they kidnap today, by tomorrow, they have gotten the people. So that's it. Because at times, longer days, the victim spends there, the person may die. If they don't get, the adequate attention they need, don't know who has one ailment on the other, or stuff like that. It's not easy to lose someone. If you lose someone close to you, it's very difficult. So that's one. Then for the bandits, that's where they have to do more work on how to address that bandit side. Those that goes to the forest, they need to deal with that. They need to up their game. They need to do more research. They need to find out how to do that. That's why it's important to have satellite in the orbit. We can use satellite to do the mapping of these people. So I don't know, but I think it's important for us to know what is going on. So if you are moving anywhere, you are moving within the society, don't be looking only for the bandits. There are already other kidnappers living with us who are like us. They dress like us, live like us, behave like us, but they are not with us. They are against us. So if you are walking on the street, let your eyes be sharp. Don't press phone while walking on the road. Stop playing music. Block your 2 ears with AirPod. You won't hear when people are shouting and stuff like that. So you have to be security conscious. While on the road, anywhere you are, in a restaurant and stuff like that, be vigilant, be observant. This generation now, handset is their killer. So many people, they're always on the phone, so they don't know what is happening. So you need to be sensitive, you need to be active, you need to be vigilant anywhere you are per time, in the mall, in the church, in the mosque, anywhere you are, be vigilant so that you'll be able to, run when it's time to run. It is what it is. You see, that man in Edo was able to run away. Unfortunately, and he left the wife. He fled. And that the wife couldn't run as fast as him, and they were able to grab her. So but through her now, they nab those guys. And these guys are off the street now. So same way it will be happening. By the time you get them off the street will become safer. So guys, it is what it is. So whatever you have to say concerning all of this, please guys put it at the comment section, and I'll be glad to respond, to your comments. And then like and share this video and make it reach out to wider audience, especially the security operatives, so they will understand the 2 dimensions and know how to, work harder in the bandits, perspective. So it is what it is, and we'll keep working and we'll keep talking, on issues bothering our country, and hopefully government will hear us someday and be able to do the needful, and everybody will be okay. And we look forward to that day. So guys, I'll be signing out on this platform, and I'll see you in my next video. And thank you for watching this video. Like and share as always, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.